Hello and welcome. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Andrew. We're two brothers. And this is Daniel and Andrew Show.
Well, we give our opinions about movies and TV that we've been watching lately. So, Andrew, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I had a nice day today. I've worked every day pretty much other than today. And then I'm going to work the next couple days because Ant-Man came out. So it's busy. So today I have never seen this particular movie in the movie theater before. So I went and paid to see Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in the theater.
I was honestly thinking about doing the exact same thing, but I may have missed all the show times.
The only reason I was like, I was thinking about it. I was like, but my friend had never seen it. So I was like, okay, we got to see it now because you've never seen it. We got to go see it. And he liked it a lot. So,
I mean, it must have been good on the big screen.
Oh, it was so good.
I wanted to see it. I completely forgot, and I may have missed my chance to see it. Either that or they haven't put out the show times for next weekend.
I haven't seen it in a really long time, like the full way through. I've seen different fight scenes,
Yeah.
on YouTube and stuff, but I haven't watched the whole movie all the way through, and I've definitely not seen it all the way through as an adult. So, and then like a different appreciation for it, I think. And I was like, man, this is a good movie.
Yeah, I usually skip the desert part.
The desert part is boring, and I will
by
say,
far the slowest part of the movie. It's way too long.
Everything else is
good. That's beautiful, and I mean that's the point. There's beautiful deserts, beautiful women, beautiful men, but it's just boring.
I wish that instead of that, learning more about her, I wish they would go talk about when they were young, Chow Yun-fat and Michelle Yeoh's character when they're young, show them when they're young and meeting. I would have found that way more interesting than
that would have been cool.
Yeah, and the desert part could have been 2 minutes instead of a half hour.
Well, that lady who played the desert lady, I don't remember her name from the movie.
Zhang Ji.
She was like a big up and coming star, I think, at the time.
Probably.
So that's probably why it's Dave.
It kind of reminds me of The Godfather, which is another one of my favorite movies, where Michael goes to is it Italy, Sicily? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you were right on the second one. I think it's Sicily.
Yeah, and it's it's great, but it's kind of, I know it's necessary, but anyway.
Isn't that the second one?
No, it's the first one.
That's the first
because
one.
he kills the bosses or whatever, and then he flees.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say if that's in the second one, the second one's the best one.
You're thinking of the second one because it's young Don Corleone in
Yeah, it's his rising up thing.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, great movie. And then we went and had Chinese food after. We tried a new place, and that place was real good. So it was a good
solid day.
I was very happy with it. What did you do? Anything fun this week?
I mean, I saw the movie today.
Oh, nice.
Just before we started talking, my second bathroom has some kind of leak in the roof. So that's
is that the one that was worked on?
I mean, it's got to be. I mean, they were both worked on, but they didn't do anything water-wise other than replace the shower head. So I can only assume that this is, the problem must have been there before they did anything.
Well, because if they worked on it, if there's someone, is there someone above you?
Yeah.
So it's probably they probably worked on theirs upstairs, and then they probably.
I mean, if they worked on it, why would it be broken? I don't see it.
You could make a mistake. Whatever. Who cares?
I
That
just
sucks.
don't. They didn't really do plumbing. I don't know why they would have done plumbing up there and not down here. But yeah, it's got to take it taken care of. It's a big problem, and I think our washing machine isn't working because of it. I don't know why, but it won't start. So
All right. Lots of fun stuff, huh?
yeah, you had a good weekend. I get to try to figure out stuff. Yeah.
All right. You should watch any other movies this week or anything?
Uh, just been watching Young Sheldon. I did see a trailer for Ted Lasso, but you're probably not interested in
Oh, Ted Lasso.
for a
Well, this
season
this is
three.
the short segment of does Daniel care? And the answer is no. Um,
I know you don't care. Yeah,
I don't know.
that's a good show. See
I
it, people.
tried. I tried. It's
You
fine.
did.
Yeah, it's okay.
How many episodes did you try?
Oh, 3 or 4 for sure.
Oh, okay, if you tried that many.
It's
I don't
fine.
know.
Like it's funny. Like he's funny, and I like him. But and I don't know. It seems like something I would like, but I don't know. It's just something about it, kind of.
It's not even like it's not like a sitcom or something, you know. It's actually pretty
Yeah,
it gets pretty serious. Like it's definitely more drama than it is probably comedy. It's a good mix, I'd say.
yeah. No, I know that people like it. Definitely, people like it. It's won lots of awards. A lot of people watch that show. So
I mean, and I know I mean I know the rules of soccer, but I could care less about soccer.
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I think that show is definitely the like the most well regarded show on that Apple TV. So
Oh yeah. Mhm.
for sure, they're lucky to have that show because I think people would have been like on that, but they're like, oh, they have Ted Lasso. Like people are actually willing to get that to watch Ted Lasso.
Yeah, I wish
Yeah.
Mythic Quest did the same, but
Oh
it
well.
doesn't.
And then so this week I saw this movie called Marlowe with Liam Neeson and Jessica Lange and some other people.
Yeah, you
And
briefly told me about it.
um cuz
He's like it's in like the past or
it's in
something.
the 30s. It's like a noir. He's a private detective. You know, it's one of those guys where he's this little fedora and he's like, you know, some dame comes to his detective in the beginning of the movie and she's
And
like,
he's like, "May the force be with you."
yes, exactly. He the, uh, the lady comes and she's like, my ex-lover is gone. He's disappeared and you must find him for me. And he's like, I'll do what I can, ma'am, with his
Mm,
subtly Irish American accent because he's Liam Neeson. And
you cannot put on any kind of accent.
it was pretty boring. There was a lot of like the costumes were really cool because all like in the 30s. It's like the cars are like cool looking and
Mm-hmm.
there's good actors in it. Alan Cummings in it, and he was Floop in Spy Kids, and he was Nightcrawler and stuff. And I really like him, and he's just
Just his biggest roles ever, right there.
his biggest roles. I know that he's had other roles.
Yeah, I know.
Uh,
I don't know what they are off the top. But
he
yeah.
was on The Good Wife. He was on that show, and he's actually in Goldeneye. But he's like always like a really ridiculous character actor, and I liked that he was ridiculous in this movie. He was like, "I'm a gangster." It's like, and he's just like really small and thin guy. I don't know. I like him. I
Yeah.
like seeing him pop up in anything. And but there was like so much in that. It was like supposed to be so twisty, and it was like really boring. And then once it finally got there, it was like you could tell what they were going for, but they like didn't quite hit it how it should be hit. So then it was just kind of boring. And then when you had people like him, people like Jessica Lange, who are just really charismatic, they just like it. It was like, you know, you're in a dark room and then someone turned a light on. That was the difference when those people were on screen because they're just so much more charismatic.
I don't
And I
even
think,
know who those other people are, to be honest.
well, like I said, him, the guy, Floop guy, and then
Mm-hmm.
Jessica Lange. She was in probably nothing you've ever seen.
Sounds charismatic.
She's really good. She's won Oscars and stuff. She was in American Horror Story. I know you've never seen it, but she's in the first few seasons. What the heck? I don't know. You've probably never seen her in anything. Anyway, she's good in that movie, but she's always good. So, I would say that movie was a 5. Pretty
Oh,
much
well.
right down the middle. I didn't hate it. There were so many good things about it, and then things that were like
Very high
really,
highs, very low lows.
yeah. And the guy who plays his driver, really good. Whoever that guy is, I've never seen him before, but yep.
Hats
Anyway,
off to you, driver.
that's he was wearing a hat the whole time, so yeah, I guess hats off to him. I don't know. That's definitely you can check that
Everyone
out.
was wearing a hat in the 30s.
Yeah, pretty much. It seems like check it out whenever it's on streaming, I guess, because I'm sure it'll be on there quickly. All right. Anything else?
No, nothing in particular.
All right. Well, we are on to everyone's very favorite segment when, I can't catch up on all the news, and we didn't really touch on a lot of news the last couple weeks. So we got, their odds and ends here to go through on the old news here. And I like to wrap it up in the segment that everybody loves, which is, Does Andrew Care?
We have just like the only thing we call a segment, but it's like our only segment.
Well, we have segments. The first segment just doesn't have a segment name. It's just the beginning
okay.
segment. And then our segment where we review things.
Okay.
I love telling Andrew the segments of our segments. Anyway, so does Andrew care? So here's the first one. So Big Papa Iger from Disney gave us, he did the investor call, and he pretty much just announced things because he wants people to, not sell their shares in Disney.
Yeah,
so
invest. Yeah.
He announced a few projects. One being, let's see, Toy Story 5. Do you care?
Oh, man. Why? I mean, I guess that would make investors happy. I mean, they got to keep selling them toys. That's the only thing that keeps them afloat.
So what he said, one of the first things he said was, we are going to put our, our money and backing behind original people, original creators, letting them do their thing and be creative and make us new things. And then he went on to announce 3 sequel projects that are fully existing IP. Now, Toy Story 5, do you care?
No. Does that mean Cars is coming back?
Well, I'll tell you the ones that we're talking about here. Zootopia 2, do you care?
The first one was all right.
Okay.
So no.
And Frozen 3.
I mean, I guess that's a cash cow.
Yeah, I think Cars, I guess, has run its course after what? How many? 3?
I guess. I have no idea.
I think they were doing like a Cars TV show. I don't think they're going to do another movie. I think they've run out of ideas. But yeah, Frozen 3 seemed indifferent on that. Do you care?
I mean, I know a little girl who will be very, very happy about it, but I could care less.
All right. There's a lot of little girls that probably would be excited about that.
I checked out halfway through the first one, so
I think those movies are really good, so I would definitely watch the third one. So he, I don't think it was him, but I think it was Kevin Feige, but the Marvel's pushing back TV shows and a movie, to give time to breathe in between things.
Not
They
a bad idea.
they
It's
pushed
probably
back
not enough.
they pushed back the Marvels to, instead of the summer, it's going to come out in November, I want to say.
Ooh, that's quite the pushback.
So that one's pushed back. And
That
then
was sarcastic. That's not very long. It was
And
a
then
couple months.
And then some TV shows they've moved back to next year. Agatha, something, Coven of Chaos, I think. Echo,
Yeah.
and another lady one, Ironheart. Those are all been pushed back. Do you care?
Nope.
All right.
Not about those ones.
I just
they come out when they come out.
I do think it's funny that all the ones about women leads are all the ones that got pushed back. Everything else has stayed the same. Secret Invasion and Loki staying where they are.
Well, I mean, we've seen trailers. Well, technically, as of this movie, we've seen trailers for both now. So it'd be kind of hard to push it back now. We haven't seen trailers for the other things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, so Andrew semi cares about that.
I'm interested in all those shows. I'm gonna watch them. So
there was a trailer for a Tetris movie. Do you care?
It was like an Apple TV thing or something, right?
That's correct.
And it had
Taron
Kingston.
Egerton. Taron Egerton. I don't know.
I didn't see the trailer, so I'll say I'm not interested.
Okay. We'll move on, but I was actually surprised by that trailer. I thought it looked interesting. Live action Lilo and Stitch, and Zach Galifianakis is apparently going to be in it.
What, is he going to be Stitch?
No, he's going to be like that.
Is he going to make some spit noises and
no? He's the one.
Noises?
He's the one alien that's like the nerdy alien.
The one with like eyeballs or something.
Yes,
it's
the
like
one with
one
eyeballs.
Big eyeball.
That sounds right.
One big eyeball? Or
I don't know. That's Mike Wazowski, I thought.
Yeah. He has like some...
I want to say 3 eyeballs.
Goo as hair or something. Yeah.
Goo as hair. Oh my gosh.
Something's like wavy on top of his head. I can't remember if it's his eyes.
I think it's just like a little
goo.
like Teletubby little squirt thing. Like little skin tag head.
I don't remember. That's a good movie, but
that's a good movie that we don't remember much of. So
where's
interested?
the new stuff? No. Live action is almost like 80% worse than the original. I don't think I've even really seen one that's better than the original. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Jungle Book.
I didn't see it.
It actually improved upon the original. The original one is kind of weird, and I don't like it.
I don't know. I watched Jungle Book a lot when I was a kid. I've even seen other versions of it for some reason.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like they took out the weird stuff that I didn't like about the original, and that was good.
Well, maybe I'll give that a watch. That's literally, I think, the only one I haven't seen.
John Favreau directed it, and I like him.
Did he direct The Lion King?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he was involved in it somehow.
No, you're probably right. And I liked The Lion King, but I like Lion King, so.
Bro,
it was pretty much
not good.
It pretty much was just The Lion King, and I like Lion King, so. Speaking of,
you're saying it's better than the original?
No
way you're saying it's better than the original.
I didn't. You said, didn't he make The Lion King?
I think he did. I think he was part of it.
And I agree
I'm
with
just
you.
saying that one wasn't better than the original.
I didn't say that. You moved over the other argument from earlier to that argument, which wasn't an argument.
I like the Beauty and the Beast one. I don't think you've ever seen that one.
No, because I don't like Beauty and the Beast.
No.
But people liked
Okay.
Beauty and the Beast.
No, I'm saying I think that one might be better than the original, but
I don't know. I think they both probably lame.
they are
So
both kind of
speaking
lame.
of live action remakes, Little Mermaid had a trailer. Do you care?
No, I don't.
Okay, great. Um,
Wait, let me guess. She's under the sea, right?
it's a tale as old as time.
Well, as long as it's part of this world, which
Yeah,
is part of the song.
I don't know any more songs. That movie might want to make you be our guest. I'm gonna just keep doing Beauty and the Beast, and you're gonna just.
Okay. I don't like that movie, but I know all the songs.
Well, we literally talked about Beauty and the Beast last week, and so it's in my head.
It's okay. As long as there's a stranger like me.
That is definitely not Little Mermaid. Wow, what an idiot! Who would bring up a?
It wasn't
movie?
supposed to be like Little Mermaid.
What a dummy. Speaking of stuff that's stupid, Hellboy reboot number 2 here. You,
oh yeah,
do you care?
They did do a reboot. I never saw the reboot.
Yeah.
I don't know why they pick the weirdest things to keep rebooting. Like, there's other good stuff that they just haven't touched yet. Here we are making the same mistakes over and over again on, like, why another Tron? It didn't do that well the second time around, but yet we're getting another Tron.
How dare you, sir? Tron is a freaking amazing film. Just kidding. I don't care. I didn't care about Tron. I don't care about Hellboy. I don't think I've seen any Hellboys. So
I think they just make some good choices. I don't know.
So you seem to care, though.
I guess. Like I said, I didn't see the other reboot that was a couple of years ago.
I heard it was really bad. That's probably why you never saw it.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a small turd in the ocean there. Never got around to it.
Speaking of sequels that I'm not interested in, I Am Legend 2. Are you interested? Do you care? Apparently, they're going to just pretend that ending never happened.
I mean, there was definitely room in that fireplace or whatever. Not sure why you didn't just, like, unhook the grenade and then close the thing in behind him and throw the grenade as he's closing it.
Well, I think it's isn't it based on, like, a manga or something? I think.
No idea what it's based on. It's a zombie thing.
I know, but I think it's based on a book or a graphic novel or something.
If they do, like, a sort of, like, reboot and he's, like, in it playing a different part, I think that'd be fine. I don't think we need
they would
magically show up as
there is an alternate ending to that movie, actually, and like I said, I think it was a book or something, and there's an alternate ending that they were going to go with, and then they changed their mind and went with the other ending that's in the theatrical release of the movie, and I'm assuming it'll be whatever the alternate ending was, is so they can make a sequel. So it seems like you care.
I like the first one, so yeah. It depends on what they do with it. Yeah.
I didn't. So
you didn't care?
I didn't care.
Or you did.
But yeah, I think that's weird. That movie came out like 15 years ago. 16 years ago?
What does it matter?
Why would anybody care? Like, why does anyone
care about Tron? We just went over this. Nobody cares about Tron, yet they keep making them. Yet they keep making Fast and Furious.
Well, first of all, people definitely care because those make like $1 billion, so someone cares.
Yeah, I guess.
And I would rather see 3 Fast and the Furious movies than another I Am Legend. I'm
careful what you wish for.
Speaking of, yeah, well, I'm probably going to get them whether I want them or not. speaking of another weird sequel, sequel to Plane called Ship. Do you care?
Oh, Ship.
That was a pretty shippy comment
sounds
there.
good. I mean, it's not like the first one's any special. Might as well.
So
They
this
probably
one,
made it for nothing, and they got some money back. So
this
might
one
as
will
well.
follow Mike Coulter's character, as he's trying to escape. It's like a direct,
Sequel.
continuation sequel to the first one, but this one's called Ship. So, I don't know.
Well, I mean, if there ain't nothing to watch that month when it comes out, we're probably gonna be watching. It's probably gonna be another January release.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know why would it.
Such a weird choice. Okay. So I think that concludes. Does Andrew care about that? So I guess Andrew doesn't care that much this week. This time there's, I guess
What was the new IP? Was there no new IP?
What do you mean?
He said he was gonna announce new projects or whatever, and
No,
they were gonna back them.
I'm saying that's what's so stupid about.
So there was really nothing new.
Correct. That's why I'm saying it's done.
I thought you were just like saving it for the end or something.
No, he's just full of crap.
Oh, okay.
And the thing that they pushed the Marvels back, and you know what they moved up? The Haunted Mansion.
Ooh.
Never done that before. So yeah, it's he's just saying we're gonna give people more creative freedom, but they're gonna still make sequels to the end of time.
Churn the wheel.
It was, there was some other things. How to Train Your Dragon. They're gonna do a live action with the same people, like not the same.
Was that Disney?
No, that's DreamWorks.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
They're gonna do a How to Train Your Dragon live action.
I mean,
with the same
that
director.
must make them so much money on toys and stuff.
Yeah, probably.
They keep making the TV shows, movies. It doesn't stop. Yeah, and they're actually pretty solid. I guess I can see why.
I liked the first one.
I like the first one as well. I could say, like, if I was a kid growing up with that movie, I would probably be excited. I mean, dragons, it makes sense. Same thing, with cars.
I'm gonna check something.
For other cars as well.
That first one, I feel like came out like 100 years ago.
Dude, that came out like what, 2010 is my guess.
Andrew, you are spot on today. 2010. That movie came out 13 years ago. So if you were, 8, you would be like 20? 21?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, probably would have been the right age growing up with it, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. But yeah, so there you go. Everybody's doing it, but it's like, I don't know. Nothing new, it seems like. So we talked about the Flash trailer last week. The rumor is that he might get replaced at the end of the movie with the guy from the TV show.
Well, you'd be happy about that.
I would love that because he's actually good as that character.
That would be crazy, honestly, if that happened, because that'd be like the first time ever that like a TV show superhero version of them like went to the big screen. That'd be crazy. The only other thing I could think of is like the Daredevil maybe coming to a movie.
I feel like that has happened before, where they just made him like No, they've never brought anyone over from a TV show.
I mean, I'm
Well,
willing to hear whoever that is.
I guess they haven't like like a small screen. Like they've had they've had people from like old TV shows be in like the movies as somebody else, but not like that character.
Yeah, I mean, nobody from the CW has ever played the main person in a live action movie like
I
that.
don't
That's
even know.
definitely new
They should have
territory.
just had him be the Flash in the movies from the begin with.
I mean, we've been over this. They have made so many mistakes. That's why we're here in the first place.
But I would lose my poop if I do that. That would be cool. Because the Arrow, all the Arrowverse, all those shows are ending. Like every single one of them, or have ended.
Yeah, they were popular for a really long time. I don't know how they were not that good.
The last season of The Flash is going to be like the 9th season. Like,
yeah, that's crazy. Those lasted as long as they did because we were not good.
Yeah, I thought I liked The Flash. I never got into Arrow. He's just like lame Batman. He was.
So true.
He's
so
just
true.
just a rich guy, but he was, instead of his parents dying in front of him, he was just like on an island for a long time, and then his parents thought he was dead. I guess it's like whatever. Just a rich guy that's boring.
Isn't it like the mom or dad like wanting him dead or something?
You got me. I don't know. I thought the show.
You watched the more CW shows than me. He shows up in The Flash.
When there was the crossovers, I would skip over the character building stuff of the other shows because I didn't care. I tried to watch The Legends of Tomorrow, and I watched a few seasons, but I fell off at the same time. My favorite episode of The Flash is the musical episode. So
should check out the Lucifer musical episode. I think they actually have 2 of them. It's so hilarious.
I watched one of the crossovers, and I hadn't watched the show in a long time, and Lucifer actually is in one of the crossovers. They're like, oh, I have a friend that I can cash in
a cameo or something?
I can cash in my my favor from him or whatever, and then they just go to they go to like a club or something, and it's like Lucifer, and I was like, what are these?
So random.
I didn't even know they were related in any way. Is that DC? I don't know. I didn't know that was DC.
I do think he's from the comics in some capacity, but it's not really. Wouldn't really say it's something that happens.
Anyway,
I did love that show.
I was super duper confused. But yeah. So anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, that Flash musical episode's great. Anyway, yeah. So, but yes, I would like the only one I really really enjoyed was the Flash. So, but that's probably just because I like
the TV version.
The TV version. Legends of Tomorrow got really boring really fast, and also they changed like who is the captain. It was basically like Star Trek-ish, where they would go on their little adventures of the week or whatever. But like there was a captain, and then I think he wanted to leave the show, so somebody else became the captain. And there's like random people left the team and came, got on the team. I was like, when I watched like later crossover events, it was like a completely new group pretty much on the team, and I was like, where does this what happened to this show? And I was like, I don't know what's going on. There's just too much crap.
Sounds like Smallville. Maybe Laura should watch those shows. She might like them.
It's like Black Lightning, and there was Batwoman, and there was Supergirl, and there was this, that, and the other thing, and there's Titans, and so many shows.
Well, the story just gets lost in all of that nonsense. It's just like it's very hard to follow that show.
And I realized that
time travel.
I had only watched I've only watched like 3 or 4 seasons of like the 9-season run of that show, which is insane. I swear I watched more. It's just like felt like I was in jail, I guess. I don't know, maybe time goes slower. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, he's a good actor and I would be fine with that change. Yeah, so going from mediocre superhero stuff, what are we talking about this week?
We are talking about Ant-Man 3. Yay, another title.
Do you though?
Uh, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania or something.
Yes, that was very, very right off the top of your head. I could tell.
Was that it?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Yeah. See, that was off the top of my head.
I know, but it sounded like you were like really
Reading it or something.
yeah. So overall thoughts, what'd you think?
Solid entry into the Avengers mythos. Might be kind of biased because I like Ant-Man, but he's just a guy like the rest of us and helps balance the movie. I think this was a good one. Definitely worth the movie ticket.
Did you see it in any like premium screen or anything?
It's on in IMAX.
Nice. You liked it in IMAX?
I mean, I would have liked it on my TV screen.
I saw it at the Dolby Cinema. I really like the sound and everything. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, movies make sound.
Yeah, but really good sound.
Really good sound. Okay.
I overall enjoyed this movie. I also enjoy Ant-Man. This when I was thinking about afterwards, I was like, there's a lot of trilogies now in the old Marvel, in the Marvel.
I mean, it seems to be a thing unless your name's Thor. So
yeah. Well, if you exclude the fourth movie in that, you still have a trilogy, obviously. How would this rank in the trilogies?
Well, the Iron Man one was not great. They really wrapped up his storylines in the Avengers movies themselves, so I wouldn't say that's really fair to say that's not a good one. But Iron Man 2 and 3 is not the greatest. Sorry, Iron Man lovers.
You got Iron Man, you got Captain America.
That's actually pretty solid one. I personally enjoy that one.
This
just has really good action, love hand-to-hand combat, and that's what Captain America's about.
I think the first one's decent. It's kind of schmaltzy.
I mean, the first one's probably the best.
Oh,
but I mean,
no, Civil War is the best of the three.
That's what I was about to say. If you count Civil War as part of that,
yeah, the ones that say
really unfair. It's like
the ones
it is about him, but it's so much about Iron Man and like everyone else in that. It's really tough to say that's his movie.
Well, just like this movie that we're about to talk about, it's like Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's there's other stuff,
Yeah, but I mean, they're a package deal, it's not.
Yeah. But I don't think that's fair to complain about that. But then this movie, that's not. Anyway, so.
Okay, there's like 12 or something superheroes in that movie compared to this one that has like 3 or 4, I guess, that have basically the same power.
Yeah.
You see the difference now?
I would say that there's technically more people with powers in this. People that can read minds and stuff like that, but
Yeah, but they aren't superheroes. They're just. It was like in Thor, like Korg. That's like who I would compare that to.
Anyway, so this one ranks high in your trilogies or low in your trilogies?
If we're counting the Civil War, it's definitely not better than the Captain America trilogy. Uh, Better than the Iron Man. Definitely better than Thor. What else am I missing?
I don't know. It's you could kind of say Avengers, but
Okay, well,
Infinity
it's definitely not better than Avengers.
Infinity War and Endgame are pretty much part one, part two. It's not really like
You're saying it's all one movie, and then Ultron's the second, and Avengers is the first one. That's what
yeah,
you're saying.
yeah.
I do see that point. If that's true, then that's obviously the godfather of trilogies, then, if you want to say it like that.
I would say that my favorite trilogy might be this one because I like all three movies. Because I feel like Captain America, the first one, is mid. The second one, I think people
Look,
hold it way
if
higher than
you're
it is.
if you're gonna compare this Ant-Man trilogy to just Infinity War and Endgame, you're insane. Those two movies alone are better than this entire trilogy.
Yeah. And I am super curious to see how Guardians 3 is because that trilogy could be my favorite trilogy for sure.
I'd say the second one was kind of a weaker one.
Yeah.
We'll see how the third one. It
Yeah.
looks good. Like seeing that trailer and
the theater was so much better. So much better.
The music hits a lot better. Yeah.
Oh, man, I can't wait for that movie. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see.
Which also like Indiana Jones. Man, that trailer's so much better in the
Theater.
hearing the.
So you're
awesome.
telling me, Andrew,
I do like the slow...
going to the theater enhances the movie experience. Is that what you're telling me?
Enhances some trailers that
because when I saw Crouch Tiger, Hidden Dragon, that definitely enhanced my movie experience. Hearing that score in the theater, so good, so good.
That would be cool. I will say it enhances it by like 0.25 for me.
All right. There. Well, anyway, so it's funny. I wasn't sure how Andrew was going to think. Maybe he wasn't going to like it as much. So when I saw this movie...
I feel like you just think I'm going to poo-poo on everything.
That's not true. That's not true. That is so not true. Because, I don't know, I felt like this one wasn't like the other ones, I don't think.
I agree. It's not. I mean, there was comedy in this one, but the other two are just basically comedy movies.
This one, I heard some comparisons, but before I had seen the movie, or when I watched right after I saw the movie, and I thought of this, and then I saw some comparisons. Marvel Star Wars is what I've been getting, and that's what I thought too. And it does remind me of Star Wars.
I mean, it's definitely got a sci-fi feel to it. You're exploring a completely new world, basically, and it has different races and stuff. So yeah, I can see the comparison.
Well, there was like a rebellion, and then there's like, the Conqueror. It
was a rebellion in Thor Ragnarok.
I know,
sci-fi.
But this one's like, there's like this conqueror guy who's just, killing people.
And there's big old armies walking around like stormtroopers.
And he has his empire, and
they're faceless beings that they fight. And they shoot, just conk on their glass heads, and they're knocked out.
And they shoot their laser guns, and then they break out of prison, and
there was no trash shoot, so it can't be like Star Wars.
Anyway, well, what's funny is I take that as a compliment that people say it's like Star
Mm.
Wars because I like Star Wars. So I thought it was good. Did you? What did you think of our cast overall? Um, and
We should go into spoilers, I think.
I don't think we should go into spoilers yet. Just say overall, was there any standouts for you? Give some little bit of non, surface level stuff, and then we can get into the.
uh, everyone did good. Go see the movie. Real great.
Okay, so my standouts were Michelle Pfeiffer and Jonathan Majors. I'm down as a villain. He's very, very much the Darth Vader-y character in this movie for me, and I think he's really good. I liked him in Devotion. I'm excited to see Creed 3
You weren't
now.
hating on him before the movie came out.
Why? No, it wasn't.
Yeah, you were. You were like, they're just betting everything on the villain here, who's going to be our villain for the
Yeah,
next.
and I said I'm curious to see how he is. I know he's a pretty decent actor, but I don't know. I haven't really seen him do anything like this yet, so we'll see if he could do it, and he pulls it off.
So,
So
got your stamp of approval.
he
For
gets my
bad
stamp
guys.
of approval. I'm really interested in Creed 3 now because he's the villain in that too. So, and that's coming out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we got to see his boxing skills in this movie.
Yeah, and if ever Killmonger comes back for realsies, then he can fight Kang. And then you can have Creed 3 again.
Good point. Good point.
Or he could be the Human Torch from that terrible Fantastic Four. Anyway, yeah, I would say those are definitely my standouts. Also, I like the lady who is like this rebel character, fighter, warrior.
Well, you say you weren't feeling him in Loki, or maybe you just didn't like Loki in general.
I didn't like the ending of Loki. I thought it was weird. It was kind of setting up Loki's. The beginning of Loki's so good, and I really like what makes a bad guy. Why are you a bad guy? And it really delved into his character and his psyche. And then they just went, just kidding. We have to tie it over to the rest of the crap. And that bothered me.
I mean, that's pretty much how all of their shows have gone, though.
But the thing is that with this movie, they kind of do that, but we already got a lot of his story. We've already seen Ant-Man a lot of his story. So I don't feel shortchanged. Loki, I'm feeling shortchanged because he was just kind of one note. I'm a villain, bad guy. And we were getting really into this good stuff. And then it was like, just kidding.
You're getting a season 2. So.
I know, but anyway, whatever. We will talk about that later. As you know, we will talk about that later. So, we can, so I think the movie was worth it just for the Michelle Pfeiffer and Jonathan Majors alone. So go check it out. We can get into spoilers now. What do you want to touch on first? Should we talk about stuff we didn't like, maybe?
We'd have to really pick it apart for me. But I think I didn't really like that much.
Okay, well,
there's a few things. It's just go character by character. That works with me.
All right.
I mean, if we want to start, Ant-Man was good.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and say the stuff I didn't like first.
Oh, okay.
I thought Cassie was fine. His daughter was okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hardest part of. They're also having to set up, the next gen here. And it's difficult in all these movies where they're trying to set up the next gen. And yeah, I would say this was actually like the best one, I feel like, of the newer people they've introduced in the movies. I feel like she actually has done the best. I'm not saying she did good. I'm just saying the other ones did worse. Like, I can tell you who I'm not interested of the new gen. Definitely Iron Bug or whatever that was.
Iron Bug.
Uh, the name. What's the name? She's like yellow in the Black Panther movie.
Okay, so she was
Whatever.
pink, and her name was Ironheart.
Oh, Ironheart. Yeah. She was all right. Very, very all right.
Oh,
Teachers, probably like 5 out of 10 there
that's
on her.
hilarious because I liked her a lot. So I'm down for more of her. Actually,
Cassie was way better. Cassie was way better.
I disagree. Also,
Cassie was like a 7, and she was like a 5, maybe even a 4.
I think the ones that they had in the movies I've liked more than the ones in the TV shows. Like Kate Bishop, she's written so like lukewarm. The writing on that for that character, um, but
Yeah, I don't think she. It was a TV show. That's the thing. Like the TV shows ones usually are a lot worse.
I think the one in Doctor Strange, she's okay.
I
Um,
agree. I think Cassie did. The thing is, she's in this movie like a lot, and then it's like they actually do the pairing between her and Paul Rudd really, really well, and I, ended up caring. This, she was also in the previous films. I know it wasn't her, but
not a
there's
single
still.
time was it the same pearl. The little girl's different from the person in.
Yeah, I know, but it's still the person that he's talked about, in every single
Yeah,
movie, including the Avengers movie. So I feel a little bit more for her, and I think it's just more due to Paul Rudd. But I do see how someone could say she was, average in this movie, but I think she's a little better just because of Paul Rudd.
I yeah, I just think I'm remembering the little girl that I liked so much in the first one, and it's not about this
Yeah,
girl.
but I mean that was going to be difficult to keep the same
That little
actress
girl,
throughout the entire time.
that little girl's awesome. That's a great kid actor. She was awesome and
Okay,
funny.
okay.
I like her.
I'm glad you liked her,
I hope
but
she
she's
does
not
well,
here
whoever
anymore.
that girl is. Um, yeah, she was okay. And Modoc, that was weird.
I mean, it's not any weirder than people getting shrunk into another dimension. So, and people with laser beams attached to their face, and
Laser beams attached to their freaking heads.
yeah. So honestly, it didn't bother me. It was. I mean, I actually like the line that she says, that Cassie says, with just like "Don't be a dick" or whatever. I
Yeah,
thought that was actually pretty funny.
yeah. It just reminded me of Shark Boy and Lava Girl with big George
Mm,
Lopez face. Um,
mm.
I don't know.
A Zordon
Zordon.
from Power Rangers. I might be saying that name wrong,
Oh,
but
gotcha. I was trying to figure. No, it's Zordon. It's just like a normal face in a tube. This one's just like expanded, weird.
I
Like,
mean, it was meant to look weird.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe just keep Modoc animated. It's weird, and also
It was fine. He's gone. It wasn't matter.
I don't know.
He had a very touching death at the end.
Was it touching? It was played. It was played for laughs. It was like I wasn't a
Yeah,
dick.
I know.
Death.
I know. That was my point. It wasn't touching. I thought it
Okay.
was funny as
I
well.
I didn't understand because it was like, oh, he was heroic, but like we don't really care because he
And he
sucks.
was like, I was an Avenger, and he was like, oh yeah, you're one. Good job. And then he just dies.
So weird. Um, and
I thought it was
and when
funny.
I say these are the things that I just wasn't as high on. I'm not saying I didn't like them. It was just they were kind of weird.
I
Um,
could see how you'd see that, and yeah, he was weird. I'll give it that,
and
but it
also
was fine for me.
it's the guy, the bald guy. I know for me before it was just that guy from Ant-Man, but I watched the show Billions, and his name is Corey Stoll, is the actor. and he's on that show Billions, and he's playing such a weird character. So seeing him in this, and he's like, "I'm so goofy and wacky," it's like really weird because he's like ultra serious in that show. So I just see that character, like,
I guess I just because I hadn't seen that show didn't bother
yeah,
me. I guess.
yeah. Anyway, uh, that show's gone downhill, and he's like one of the leads now. Anyway, yeah. So MODOK was weird. Um, and then stuff. This thing I was medium on was Bill Murray. That scene with Bill Murray, where he's
Yeah, I
like,
thought he would like, come back there at like the end or something.
"No,
Be like, I changed my mind. I'm a good guy now, or
no,
something. You know,
I think he
some
died.
throwaway thing.
I just think he died." Like that
Yeah.
because he ate those things, and those things were like begging for
I
its
could
life.
see him just popping up in some other sci-fi thing.
He's not
Randomly.
coming back because he got canceled apparently, like after the movie had been shot or something.
Oh,
Because in real life, Bill Murray's a huge dick, and it's funny that that character is pretty much just him, like where it's like, oh, he's revealed, oh, he's actually a douche. And I just thought it was funny that he was basically like, yeah, this is me, like in real life. I'm just playing an alien in this. He like
yeah. He
just,
pretty much. He was just. Yeah, he was just him. Yeah, you
yeah.
are right about that.
But it's really funny just watching this, and then and then you, and then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, he's like, it's ironic that it's just that he actually is just a bad guy in real life. Like, and it's
I'm
funny.
sure it's just a coincidence. I'm
It
sure
is a
they did that on
coincidence, but they barely show him in the trailers and stuff because of all of the stuff. He's the stuff come out about him, like behind the scenes stuff. And um, I was watching a video actually, and with and Seth Green was talking about Bill Murray, and then that when he was a kid, he was at SNL, like in an SNL sketch, and he threw him in a trash can.
Nice.
Yeah, so not a great person, but that scene was weird, kind of fun. And that they can just drink some goo and can know alien languages.
I mean, at least they addressed it.
Yeah,
Other movies, just you talk the same
yeah.
language.
Everyone speaks English.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
mean, it kind of makes sense because there's so many people down there that probably didn't speak the same language. We don't really know how they came to be down there or anything,
that's true.
but
That's
it makes
true.
sense that they all have to communicate with somehow. And she literally just asked for the drinks. So
Yeah. All right. Now, stuff that I liked. Um, it was funny. There was lots of funny stuff in it. I really liked the beginning where he's just like walking down the street and they're playing the theme.
and then they call back to it at
Welcome
the
back,
end.
Carter. Cotter? Welcome back. Cotter is what it's called. It's a theme song from a TV show, but it's just welcome back. Like, oh, he just came back from being an Avenger, and then at the end of the movie they call back to it, and he's like, welcome back from being in the quantum realm. I did like
Mhm.
that.
It was a good intro. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's the stuff I like about Ant-Man. And they had, where he's having lunch with Randall Park, the agent guy, and then he does a little card thing with his credit card, the magic trick that he's like,
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
um,
I did catch that. Yeah.
I and yeah, I just like the Ant-Man like little lore of Ant-Man. I think Paul Rudd is just seems like such a sweet guy, just a really nice guy, and that's basically all they've written for him is just that you're just a really nice guy.
Yeah. That just wants to protect people. He's a simple superhero, and that's really all you need.
Yeah. So he just kind of like, I just don't think they know what to do with him, so they were like, all right, well, let's focus on somebody else. Because
I mean, they're kicking it off to the next gen. I mean,
yeah, I know. So they don't really know what to do with him, so they kind of push it off to other characters, which I'm cool with because I
that's
liked
fine.
because Michelle Pfeiffer's awesome, um, and I liked um seeing more of her character because she's a good actress. Her character Janet um is great. I like her and all her time, the time with her, and then we're seeing her and when she meets Kang. Um,
The only thing I didn't like about her is I know it's for the story purposes, but she obviously should have said something about Kang or, anything. I mean, it was very just for the plot sort of thing. Like, even they go down there and they're like, what's going on, girl? We need to know what's going on. And she's like, we can't talk about it now. And then they immediately start talking about something else. And it's like, you clearly could be talking about it if you're talking about this. That was the only part that bothered me about her character specifically.
well, I think that sucks. What sucks about it is that I don't think they probably were going to even bring up that she was in the quantum realm until they went. They probably went, "Oh, we're gonna put Kang there," and then they go, "Oh, well, her character was in the quantum realm, so I guess we'll just."
I mean, what do you mean they didn't know that?
I
They plan these things out. What do you mean?
I think
She had to be doing something down there, right?
I know, but I think that they have an idea, and then it's like, okay, well, in another movie, we'll do that. So writers write a way around it, and they probably went, okay, you know, she just didn't tell them about it. I guess I don't. I really. They say that these scripts get rewritten like right up to when they film it. So,
Hmm.
from what I've heard, some of this movie might have been edited, like the ending. There might have been a different ending, where they might have been actually stuck in the quantum realm and they didn't get
I
sent
feel
back
like you say
immediately.
that about every single one, though.
These movies are not fully formed when they film them. James Gunn even said, I'm at DC and we're going to do these things differently. We're not going to edit things or rewrite things to the
Mm,
last minute and not people don't know what they're shooting on the day of and they're just
mm,
flying by the seat of the pants. That's direct talking about Marvel. He wasn't talking about somewhere else. So
well,
anyway,
it'll probably all get leaked away before then.
I just think they just tried their best to write around it.
Right around it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my guess. Um, I guess you could take it or leave it on that. But yeah, it is annoying. Stuff like that is annoying to me, and I fully agree with you. It's like, yeah, she just didn't say anything, but
Yeah, I know it was for the plot, basically, so I didn't. I gave it a pass. I'm not saying I like drug her character down. I think her character was pretty cool. Um, and there are some other little like plot thingies like that where Kang would have easily just killed these people off. Instead, they're like not in their cells, randomly traveling with guards, and then escape like twice in this movie. And it's just like, man, you really should stop. Like, take away their suit or something. Like, why you just leave them in their suit with all these little pocket gadgets and stuff? You probably should think about these things. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
the two times Cassie escapes just being escorted by two guards for some reason. Not so like in the scene prior, she was like in a cell,
Good point.
and then the next scene you see her, she's just like walking down the side, and then after Kang leaves in the final battle, the
Do you
mom
think
is being escorted or something for some reason.
do you think they take the stuff off of them and then they're put in the thing and then they get out and go grab their stuff.
I don't know.
I don't know. That is, I didn't even think about that. That is a good point. It doesn't really bother me though.
Yeah, I know. It's like little things like that that kind of bug me a little. It doesn't bring the movie down for me, but it's just like if Kang was actually serious, why would he be leaving these people alive? He already says they're basically ants to him, so why leave them alive? Period. It throws a little, but we don't have to hang on this. We can continue.
Yeah. So yeah, my favorite parts of the movie was Michelle Pfeiffer and Jonathan Majors just acting away, with their scenes together.
Kang was really good. He definitely felt. I mean, I guess it's something about people who can move you around with their mind. Apparently, that's just super evil because that seems to be the good, evil, bad guy power that people like.
He's just very reminiscent of Darth Vader.
He's moving people around with his mind.
Well, instead of
telling him to give stuff up, do what I want, is literally exactly like Vader
instead of moving people around, he was his force choke. That he was like, "What are you saying? I'm gonna That's what I was getting, and it's good stuff, man. He was very like soft spoken about it, which was creepy. And just not, but he's also a pretty imposing looking guy. But I don't know. But he seems convincing. Just good stuff. I like him. Yeah.
Yes, good villains definitely help these movies out. That's what a lot of the other movies miss.
Yeah,
is a good villain.
It's tough writing. I think when you have a good
40 different villains,
you have a good written villain and you have a good actor playing it, makes all the difference, right? Who was it? I can't remember. I think it was Tom Hanks. He was like, "Well, I've seen," or maybe it was Tom Hanks or Bryan Cranston or something. He's like, a good actor can make okay writing good. A great actor can make good writing great. But you could only.
If Tom Hanks said that, I mean, it makes sense.
I can't remember. It was Tom Hanks.
Man is a legend.
Tom Hanks or Bryan Cranston. I can't remember. I was watching a lot of interviews with the two of them recently, but it's like you can only bring it up so high, and yeah, he just did a good job. That scene where she finds like his little memory ship drive thing and it like shows his memories or whatever, and she's just like, you can see her like seeing everything. It's just good acting. I liked good stuff. Michael Douglas was there doing his Michael Douglas thing. I liked his.
He was probably in it the least, though.
Yeah, I liked his interaction with, or he's, he's like, I'm just cool, and I got my ants, and my ants are.
He got his look to the east moment, and then he just showed up inside, just right there in front of them somehow.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, no problemo. But it didn't bother me. I feel like everyone does a good job at their characters and they're well cast. It's like, yes, they're the actor. Like I always see the actor first, who they're playing, but they just fit their character so well. Like Evangeline Lilly, I like her, and I remember watching the What If show and the zombie one where she's like a pretty sizable part in that one. And I like her.
I like her. I don't even remember What If. I remember Thor and Natalie Portman were beating each other across the world or something.
It was in What If?
No,
the zombies
that happened
one.
in What If.
The zombie one.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. I remember there being zombies. I couldn't tell you what happened in it. I know Spider-Man was sad about something.
He's sad about somebody, everyone dying. I'm guessing.
I don't know.
I can't remember, but Evangeline Lilly, the Wasp, she like stays behind so they can get away or whatever. But she's talking, and I don't know. I think everyone's just well cast as their characters, and they're good actors. Um, and they all had like their little standout moments. I like the scene with Paul Rudd where he has the possibilities or whatever, and it's just like different versions of him, and the one of them is if he was just a Baskin Robbins,
Baskin Robbins,
which was hilarious.
And he was climbing up, and he's like, "You got this, man," or something like that.
Yeah. He's like, "Why am I here? I don't understand." It was so funny. It's good stuff.
Even like his serious moments when he's talking to the villain, and he's like, "Make a choice." And like the line at the end where he's like, "I don't have to win, you just have to lose," sort of thing.
Yeah, that's in the trailers. But yeah, I was waiting for that.
I mean, it was good in the trailer. It was good in this.
Yeah. Did you like the Rebels? Lack for a better word there.
I mean, like I said, it was basically just like a Korg and little slicey up man and Thor to me.
Really? I didn't see them that way. I really didn't, which was funny.
Yeah, Korg was pretty much the Jello man who gets shot and has a bunch of holes, and he's like, "I have a hole now."
That was funny. That's pretty.
I mean, it was funny. I'm just saying that a little bit reminds me.
It's a pretty adult joke, actually. When I was thinking of when I was watching the movie, I was like, kind of adult. How many holes do you have? And he's like, he has 7. It's like,
I guess.
But that's not what I was thinking. I was just thinking because Ant-Man, he always had a little team. And that was...
Yeah, they don't eat this time, yeah.
And that was before Thor. That,
Yeah, they just didn't have...
They even have the same guy, David Dastmalchian, who is Polka Dot Man, and he's also in Ant-Man. He's actually the voice of the pink, blobby alien. So that's actually the same actor. But yeah, I liked them. People were worried about the guy from The Good Place. They were like, "Oh, he's casting Ant-Man," and people thought they were gonna unveil the Fantastic Four, and they're like, "Oh no, he's gonna be Mr. Fantastic." That's blah blah blah. And he was just some guy in this.
Yeah, these guys, they were just such minor parts. It didn't bother. None of it bothered me.
No, I liked them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I thought. They're just, I like the expanded world that they've kind of created with Ant-Man, which I like. I like that the extraneous characters are fun, and when they pop up, I liked it. Like I said, I don't know who the actress is. I think the character name is like Jenora or something. The little warrior, the warrior lady. I thought she was awesome. And then when her friend with the little laser beam head, he water bended it back into his face, or whatever that was.
Definitely.
That was pretty dope.
That was definitely water bending.
It looked like water bending. Anyway, and then it shot it back into his head, and then he exploded, and then she was like, like that was pretty good.
It's just that the ant thing, although it was cool, and they got their look to the east moment, I just didn't really dig that whole ant thing at the end.
Oh, do you think he's dead? Because I don't think so.
He's definitely not dead.
Yeah, I didn't think
anyone that you don't get seen thrown off a ledge and you see their dead body lying on the ground, I hate that.
Even if their dead bodies lying on the ground, they'll come back in the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So
yeah, but technically, she's dead. That version. I mean, even if this Kang is dead, there's still 50 billion other
Yeah.
versions that we're about to get.
Yeah. 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 So let's give our ratings. I would definitely say see it in the theater. I think it's worth your time, worth the money to see it in theater in a good screen. What do you say?
Yeah. Definitely. If you like Ant-Man at all, go see it. If you like superhero movies, go see it. If you like comedy movies, just go see it. I still think it's comedy enough. If you haven't seen any of them and you like comedy, what are you doing? Just go see the first two. They're great.
I think if
Second one is a little lesser because I think the villain ain't that great. But this one definitely makes up for that bad villain.
I like the second one more than the first one.
I think they're both great. I just think the villain's really weak in that particular movie.
I liked it. So what's your rating overall?
The second one is just like straight comedy.
That's why I like it. What's your rating on this one?
It's not your usual thing. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying
okay, great.
A better villain.
What's your rating?
I'm gonna go an 8.
Me too. That's how I was feeling when I saw it. That's how I'm feeling now. I'm glad I got to let it marinate a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking about going up to a 9, but I know tomorrow I'm gonna be thinking about it and I'm gonna come down to an 8.
Oh, it was definitely an 8 because I saw Crouch Tiger, Hidden Dragon today, and I feel like that's definitely like a 9.5. And I know this movie ain't as good.
Crouching Tiger would have been a 10 if that one scene that I talked about. It's not really one scene.
It's like 30
that
minutes,
wasn't
but yeah,
it.
I got you.
Yeah, it would be like 10 for me.
Yeah, that's a near perfect movie for me. So, and this one is not in that, but this is a solid movie, 8. So let's talk about those end credit scenes. There's like
a bunch of Kangs.
Council of Kangs. That's what it's called. I'm guessing that kind of. I'm thinking that might be Battle World, which is where they're probably gonna go. It's Secret Wars because it's like a big coliseum basically, where they could all fight each other and variants fighting each other and everything.
Yeah,
because that's Kang probably go there. You just saw a bunch of Kangs.
I feel like Secret Invasion's too early to start talking about what we just saw in the end credit scene. I'm gonna guess that Kang isn't even involved with Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion is a completely different thing. Secret Invasion is with the Skrulls are like shapeshifters and
yeah, but when there's so many Kang, I don't know who the villain of that's going to be. I'm just saying it's not going to be Kang.
Yeah, no, this is completely different.
Or any version of Kang.
No, this is a completely different thing. Yeah. It's interesting because it sets up this Kang stuff, but I feel like we're gonna take a hot pause on Kang for a few movies, and then we're gonna come back to him.
I mean, yeah, that's what they did with Thanos, sort of.
Yeah. There's connections to there was connections to Thanos, like Guardians, obviously, but it's not like wasn't like about.
I mean, Loki's gonna definitely touch on Kang.
Yeah, but I don't think Guardians. I don't think like the Marvels. I don't think.
Oh yeah, Guardians is definitely gonna be its own thing, which is good. What was the other one? Marvels.
Yeah, the Marvels.
I don't even know what that's going to be about.
Well, because the Skrulls, because they're going to do Secret Invasion. The Skrulls, obviously, Ben Mendelsohn's character was a Skrull in Captain Marvel, and they're.
Yeah, they have to do something that interests me about that storyline. I mean, I like Samuel L. Jackson, but I'm solely not interested in any of the Skrulls at all. So,
I like that part of Cap. That's probably my favorite part about Captain Marvel is Ben Mendelsohn and Sam Jackson. I
probably agree with you, but that doesn't mean I was high on it.
I thought that movie. First of all, that movie was mid. People say it's like horrible. That movie's not a horrible movie. People are just don't like her.
It also came out like when they were just throwing out bangers left and right, and then they throw out that
The
average dookie.
problem is that it was right after Infinity War, so it made a lot of money, and people were like, that movie's not fair. You shouldn't have made a lot of money. Blah, 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 blah." Just whine about it more. It's just people
Well,
don't like her. Oh well, get over it. Anyway, we're not talking about that.
oh yeah,
Kangs. So that happened, and then another Kang variant, the Victor Timely. They did a thing with Loki, and credit scene. Loki season 2 is happening. So,
basically just a trailer for season
to the
two.
surprise of nobody. So it's like,
Yeah,
I don't know. Everyone was really like geeking out about these end credit scenes online, and I was
yeah.
like,
These were low in
these
terms
one
of
of the weakest,
span. Yeah,
two
hmm
weakest end credit scenes I've ever seen.
yeah,
They are not hitting bangers with these end credit scenes.
yeah.
At the end of Thor: Love and Thunder, they had the guy from Ted Lasso is gonna be Hercules or whatever, and I was like, meh. Like
What was the one where they showed the singer guy?
Harry Styles, it's at the end of Eternals has two great end credit scenes because they
Yeah,
introduce.
that was like the best part of those movies. That movie, my
I
bad,
disagree. That movie.
was those credit
I
scenes.
disagree. I don't care. That movie rocks. And those I liked both those end credit scenes because it teases Blade and it teases a character that actually seems kind of interesting at the end of.
Look, it has some great teases of stuff that doesn't matter to Eternals.
I liked
I'll say that.
Eternals. I thought that was a good movie. We're not getting into Eternals. I thought that movie rocks. Anyway,
We're talking about end credit scenes. I'm just saying those end credit scenes were the best I've seen
in a
in a
while,
while.
I just thought it was funny that it's like you could have done so many things, could have teased other things. Like people are actually interested in, what's happening with X-Men, what's happening with Fantastic Four, and hinting that there's gonna be stuff hinting towards those. Nope, not at all. It's just like go watch our TV shows.
Yeah, go watch Miss Marvel if she's a mutant or something.
I liked Miss Marvel, so you need to. You can pick on Hawkeye or something. Don't come for stuff that I like.
It's not my fault you like the bad stuff.
It's
So I have to.
good. It's good. I like her. And that is the only part I'm actually kind of interested in the
I think
Marvels.
I'm a mutant or something.
That's not what she said.
But no, I'm the first X-Man.
That's not what she said either. I love how you're just dumb. Anyway, I guess you're just doing an impression of yourself. You're really good at it. Anyway, good
Okay.
movie. End credit scenes were fine.
Impression of
Do great impression of himself.
Yeah, I think that wraps up the episode. You got anything else you want to say about Ant-Man? Other than see it?
Ant-Man.
Double eights.
Double eights. Good funny stuff. Was there anything else? I don't think so. Yeah, good stuff. I guess I like sci-fi more than I thought I did. Because
It's just as long as it's not Thor, apparently.
Thor's not sci-fi.
What do you mean? It's literally in a different galaxy the entire time.
I know.
Except the first one. Even the first one is still in a part of another galaxy.
I feel like
Thor is definitely
because it's like
sci-fi.
based on Norse mythology.
It's sci-fi. There's spaceships.
They're fighting like trolls and
other civilizations.
In the first one, aren't they fighting like trolls and stuff?
It's an alien species. It's not a troll. They're like rock people.
But I don't know. It reminds me too much of like medieval crap that I don't really care about.
It's sci-fi.
Sci-fi, like real sci-fi, like Dune. Like, and this is just small, whatever. I don't think it doesn't remind me of sci-fi. Sorry. Whatever.
What would you classify it as? Medieval?
Fa-
I'm not going to classify it as that.
Fantasy, superhero.
Maybe like sci-fi, fantasy, possibly.
Yeah, fantasy, sci-fi. It's secondary. I would not.
Gosh, you will not admit that you are
And it's
wrong. My
only
goodness.
sci-fi because they connect it into the rest of the Marvel stuff. It wasn't sci-fi-y until later.
Okay. It's definitely sci-fi when they were on Asgard. I don't know what you're talking about. There's ships flying around in Asgard, bridges across the galaxy. It's all sci-fi.
Whatever. I don't care. Goodbye.
All right. We will see you guys on the next one.
See you later.